So welcome back to Entirely NBA, hosted by Entirely Media, podcast where we're diving deep into memories, stories, legends, and everything in between that shaped the basketball history. I'm Darion Robinson. As always, I'm here with my guys, Aaron Miller and Chris Lucci. What's going on?
What's good, y'all? You already know we're bringing you another certified Flint, Michigan hoops legend today.
Listen, this guest right here, his name alone carries weight. A true trailblazer and one of the coldest players to ever step on the hardwood.
Kelvin, we got to start here. Flint, Michigan is one of the most iconic basketball cities in the country. You've got names like Glenn Rice, Mateen Cleaves, Mo Peterson, JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma. List goes on. It's time to hype yourself up. Straight up.
Seriously.
Are you the best high school player to ever come out of Flint, Michigan?
Yes.
Don't be humble.
No, I ain't humble yet. And that's like I always say, I mean, you can have your arguments. I didn't get a chance to really see Glenn and Jeff and all those guys, but what I always tell people, I say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear somebody coming on with it. All right. Following that up, KT. How did growing up in Flint shape you as a player? I mean, coming from the city with that much talent, was there added pressure on you to represent?
I think for sure it is. I mean, definitely me following up behind the guys I did. I mean, like I grew up watching Mateen, Charlie, and all those guys, and then being able to actually like kind of play along with those guys, 7th, 8th grade, and playing with them and following up behind that. I think it was tougher for me because I came behind that, and even going through high school, they're going through that whole process of winning national championships and doing like that. So, I mean, that was even added more pressure because you had the Flintstones thing rocking and going. So, I mean, I think it brought pressure, but it also brought me to a light of embracing it too, you know. So, like, I never ran away from that pressure. I would embrace it, and everybody bring up the Flintstones. I embrace that, and I go along with it and just come on with it with my own like performances and things like that.
I like that. So when Chris and I were gathering research for this, obviously it's mainly from him because he knows you better probably than anyone, right? So one of the things we were discussing was what I would consider a breakout moment, right? So freshman in high school, Adidas big time tournament, if you remember that, which I'm sure you do, right? One of the biggest AAU events. I think 260 teams were there, which is insane to me. That being said, going back as you were a freshman, let's just obviously stress that playing against seniors, team won the whole damn thing. So I want to know what you remember about that time, and then two, I mean, coming off the statement you just said. So now I know the confidence is there, and you're real about the situation. Was that kind of when you realized that you were just on another damn level?
I mean, after that, yes. Before that, I was I was going into it nervous, but I knew that I was playing with guys like Jay Rich, RP Brent Darby, man, one of the greatest leaders ever.
Yeah, man.
Yep, for sure.
Dre Hewlett, Rob Weathy, all these guys. I knew I had a good core of guys around me. So my biggest thing was I'm young. I'm 14, 15. So I'm like, I'm just going to follow those guys. I'm going to follow Jay Rich, follow Brent, them. They play hard. I'm playing hard. I'm going to kind of do what they do and kind of help them. And like I said, the biggest help for me was, I mean, playing with, like I said, with Brent, one of the greatest leaders, man. He knew how to push everybody button to get everybody going. And we had a team of Flint, Saginaw, Detroit. You know, we butt heads during seasons, play each other, and he found a way to get us all together and just like we in this thing for one goal. And it was us against the world, man. We used to hop in those 15 passengers, ride to the games, bumping old no limit, all that, man. And he just knew how to get us going, man. So that was my guy, man. And he put us all together and got us able to get over that no matter who we played.
I love that. Hey, Aaron, before you go into yours, I want to ask, since you talked about leadership, what do you think is one quality that it takes to be a really good leader?
Confidence. You got to be confident in yourself to be able to lead everybody else. Like, if you ain't confident in you, it ain't no way I'm going to follow you. You know, like if you hesitant on what you're telling me and the info you're giving me, I feel like I can get it myself. If you're not confident on what you're doing or how you bringing it, like nobody's going to follow you. And that's something I had to learn. Like if I'm coming to practice and I'm not bringing it every day, I can't tell the next man to bring it. So now every day I step out there, I got to bring it. I got to be hard-nosed, head to the ground, bringing it. And if I'm not doing that, I can't lead. So
I like that. Very cool.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Real. That's dope.
Who were some of the players you went up against at that tournament? And were there any future stars in the mix? You just mentioned Jay Rich, but who are the other big names that you saw that stood out to you?
I go back. It was a lot of names I could think of. I remember Jonathan Bender. I remember even Mo Williams was playing. He was younger than me. I mean, he was the same age as me. He was a young guy playing. Chris Duhan. Who else was there? Deshaun Stevenson. Man, James White, Bernard Robinson. It was a lot of names, a lot of players.
Yeah.
It was like one of those who's tournament, you know. Like coming from Flint, you know, I never got to see these guys, but I saw, you know, you see the newspaper clippings, you see the magazines. So now you get out on the court with these guys, you matching up with a guy that a year ahead of you, but everybody compares you to a Deshaun Stevenson.
Right.
Now you get a chance to go head to head with this guy. You're like, okay, I measure myself where I'm at now. Like, even though I'm playing against these guys that's older, like I felt like after that freshman year, like I can play with anybody because I'm playing 17 and under. I'm playing against the top rising seniors, juniors, and being able to hold my own, that meant a lot. Like, I'm not going to lie, I didn't go out and I wasn't scoring 30, nothing like that, but I was young and being able to go out there and get 15, 16, 17 against the top seniors put me to a point where, like, oh, I'm better than everybody in my class. They not doing this.
Yeah.
They still playing 15 under, going down to Florida, AAU trips like that. And I'm here with the 17 unders, the national championship, and making plays. So I feel like that put me ahead of a lot of people in my grade.
I love that. So, Chris, I asked you about your perspective, and that's one of the benefits of having you on these pods is because you've seen it with firsthand experience. But before I ask you about that, one thing that we've talked about a lot, especially now when it comes to AAU scenes, is a lot of kids think that playing down and obviously them cooking younger kids is what they should be doing. And that's an argument that I've had a lot. Like, you're not doing anything for those kids by doing that. And one of the things that I really like that Gilbert Arenas has actually said is essentially you can do that, but by the time you get to the NBA, when you're, obviously 21, 22, 23, right, you're now comparing yourself and your skill set to kids that are coming in like Victor, who came in at 18, 19 years old, where your careers won't match up in the end, right? So there's no benefit by playing younger. So I like that your perspective is essentially, hey, look, you came in at a young age, cooked these guys, and that was your stamp of validation. Like, I can do this. I know where I'm going to be at. So I love that, man. I love that. So that monologue aside, Chris, your firsthand experience and perspective on that AU tournament, that run,
no doubt,
how you saw it.
Yeah, so let's talk about that tournament right now. So the Adidas Big Time tournament, it was Adidas, right? This is Sonny Vaccaro's tournament. Yep. But every shoe company, non-shoe company, it's in Las Vegas. This is before things kind of got sectioned off. Everybody participated. So you had every team, essentially, no matter whatever their affiliation, all flying into Las Vegas for that one championship.
Right.
And the way it was structured, you had to go undefeated. So there was one team that stood tall that went undefeated. If you didn't go undefeated, you couldn't win it.
Right.
You had to win your pool, so on and so forth. So in that tournament, obviously, the Michigan team wasn't picked to win. And, you had teams, I'm going to show some love. You had Atlanta Celtics. You had DC Assault. You had New Orleans Jazz. You had the Long Island Panthers. You had all of these teams stacked. You had EBO, which was a mixture of teams from all over the West Coast put together. And so you're talking about Kelvin. I mean, he's been a little light on it. Jason Richardson was the MVP. Kelvin Torbert was all tournament team, right? A freshman on the all tournament team out of 260 teams in Las Vegas for one tournament. He's on the all tournament team as a ninth grader.
Crazy. It's crazy.
So he wasn't just, he didn't score 30, but he was very dominant. And, steamrolled through there. And for Michigan kids, I've talked about this before. it's hard for them to get exposure because they can't play in all-star games and so on and so forth.
Right.
So Kelvin being on the scene as a freshman, that helped propel him, to the national scene and take recognition. And, Bob Gibbons and others were able to kind of tap in. But, it was electric. We had that team was a very athletic team. They weren't big. They kind of played like today's game. Played like a Golden State Warriors type style. It was super athletic, very fast, finishing with dunks. And Kelvin Torbert, one of the greatest athletes that I've ever been a part of, I've ever seen in my life. He was a freak of nature for sure.
Oh, man. So let me ask you then, at that age, what was your perspective of Jay Rich at that moment in time? What was it like playing with him?
It was different, man. It was something different because before then, I was always the most athletic guy on the team.
Yeah.
So now it's like,
yeah.
Now we playing. It's like we getting out there. Me and Jay Rich, we fighting for lives. We running as fast as we can because we know guys gonna throw it up. So we both fighting to get out there, and it was different for both of us. We had a little adjustment, but it made it more fun though, because now you got somebody out there with the same athletic ability as you. We both about the same about size. Even though Jay Rich had way longer arms than me, but it was two guys that did the same thing. We was just different ages and on different stages of our careers, but it was fun because we made it fun and we could do that. And then even a guy like Dre Hewlett was a little bit taller than us, but he was a super freak too. So we had a couple guys that were like, you miss a shot, all three of us battling for that tip dunk. We're going to hit that. Yep. And it was one of the best man win. It might be a couple times all three of us might have got our hand on it. We all raised our hands.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
So it was really fun, man. It was so fun, man. And even to this day, man, we still talk about that. Even one of my teammates from that team, Jeremiah McLaurin, we talk about that all the time, man. Every time I see him, he talk about, man, let's take it back to Vegas off the backboard. He say stuff like that. And that's just the fun we have. We still enjoy it.
I feel you. There's no feeling like that. Like not too my horn. I was a high flyer too. Now Aaron, he don't know nothing about that. He couldn't jump. He got the mid range, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. That's amazing, man. That team is special.
That's what's up. Hey, actually one of the all-time top 25 teams in the history of AAU on most rankings. So for sure. So, but KT, listen, let's break this down for everyone listening. The people don't really know you or don't know your story. Your high school career was legendary. We talking about National High School Player of the Year, 3 different awards: Gatorade, Streets of Smith, and the National High School Association Award. We talking about a McDonald's All-American, a Round Ball Classic All-American, a Parade All-American, USA Today First Team All-American, and you were Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan. All right. Now, saying all that, when you look back at all of that, was there a moment that, you sat back and thought like, man, I'm really that guy? Or were you just, kind of going through it, focused on the next stage, on what's next coming ahead?
Honestly, I think it really hit me like right before my senior year started. And I didn't play football the year, so I'm just working out. And then we saw a couple clippings, a couple like rankings and stuff. And it was me and one of my old teammates, my boy Murdoch. And I just sat down in the gym, was like, I'm that guy. It's time. Like, in Michigan, it ain't a lot of kids that talk about being National Player of the Year.
Right.
And at the beginning of the year, that's what I was talking about. Like the whole time. Like, I knew that I had Mr. Basketball 1. I knew that going into my senior year. So from the beginning of the senior year, working out through the season the whole time, all I talked about was being National Player of the Year. And you can quote me on that and go back and ask all of them. That's all I talked about. I said, I don't care about Mr. Basketball. That's 1. I said, I want to be the best player in the country, and I want to win every National Player of the Year award. Yep. And that was my goal going into that season. So I tried to capitalize on all of that. And, came up a couple of awards short, but I think I still did a good job grabbing a few of them.
Yeah. What do you remember about that McDonald's All-American game?
It was a fun time, man. Just being able to get a chance to. The most fun I had was outside the court because I got a chance to really talk to some of these guys that I competed against and never really talked to. Yeah. I mean, to this day, some of those guys still, we're good friends. Julius Hodge, Mo Williams, guys like that. I still talk to those guys, and I never really talked to them before that. It was always we competing against each other, and the biggest relationship I got out of that was being able to actually, kind of. Me and DeJuan Wagner actually finally got a chance to really meet. Finally got a chance to talk because we was always rivals and we never played against each other. And I mean, even looking back at pictures, I saw a couple pictures of me and him together. Like that would have never happened before that McDonald's game because they always pinned us against each other. And then, kind of once we got a chance to sit down, went to a couple dinners or events and got to know each other. We're like, bro, you like me. Like, we both
right.
did that the same thing. We all like the same thing. So we kind of got a little bond in the relationship. And, I mean, even a lot of those guys in my class, I still see them. We still talk. We still vibe. We act like it's back in 01 again. And it's a good feeling that you got a chance to get those relationships with guys that you just competed against all your high school career.
Before building a brotherhood. I mean, we saw that with Carmelo and LeBron. That's how they became friends. Like same exact thing. So, I just for the pod, because I know I'm going to need this, but I want to recap this. That year, you were considered top 5 player in the country. Period. In most circles, you were considered the top shooting guard in that damn year. 26 points. 8.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2.5 steals in your final year of basketball. And then if we fast forward to that McDonald's game, 21 points, 50% from the field, 8 or 11 from the free throw line, and the second top scorer on the West team, tied with David Lee and behind Eddie Curry, who had 28. That's insane. So you're a bucket getter. Bucket getter. That's crazy, man. Put some damn respect on my guy's name.
What I'm confused is he said earlier he fell a couple awards short. What did you fall short of? You got all the you got all the main stuff. What are we talking about?
USA Today. I know Wani won that. It was a couple. It was like 2 or 3 of them. It wasn't. It was more like magazine awards.
But wait, listen. Aaron, what's crazy about that, as he's saying, it's like he got 3 of them, right? Wani got 1. I think either Kwame Brown, Eddie Curry, or Tyson Chandler got maybe another one. Oh, maybe they got 1. Right. This guy had 3.
That's crazy.
I wanted all 5.
That's just greedy.
That's just greedy. Man.
So we like to pivot a little bit. I don't like to do this in chronological order, so we'll get to Michigan State here in a second. But when we talk about NBA real quick, it's rumored, so I need to get your opinion on this. But is it true that you're at least considering going straight to NBA out of high school in 2001?
Yeah, it definitely was a thought process. The thing I tell people is different from now. Like you don't have the media, so you don't really know.
Right.
Like it was always a thought process in my mind. And I just tell you from my personal experience, what I was thinking, I committed to Michigan State, but me going into the All-American games, my thought process was if I can get an MVP out of either the McDonald's game or the round ball or one of those games, that I was definitely throwing my name in the hat. And that was what I was shooting for. I mean, even like you said, that McDonald's going for 21. I was looking at every time Eddie scored, I'm like, I need that bucket. That was my thought process going into those games. Right. So it was definitely an option for me on the table.
So then is this, tell me if it's completely false, and we'll let it be. Boston Celtics, did they have you penciled in at 21st pick, but ended up taking Joe Forte? Is that a real story?
I mean, Chris can tell you more on that. It's a factual story. The thing about it was they relied that to my brother.
Gotcha.
And it never got back to me because he always wanted me to go to school. Right. And it never really fully got back to me. So it was something I never knew of until years after, but it was factual.
So I guess my bad. For me, at least, I guess it's good that you didn't know then.
Hey, you could say that either way.
You think knowing that then it would have motivated you more?
Yeah, probably it would have put me into that because I was in that space of I don't really know, and
okay.
and when I tell kids that's a bad space to be in, so
Gotcha.
like it kind of slowed me down even going to Michigan State because in my mind I'm thinking I don't want to be here. I want to go straight to the league, or some things don't happen. You think, man, I'm supposed to be one and done. I'm supposed to do that, and that kind of blurs your mind and kind of gets you away from the total goal. And I think if I'd have had a clear knowledge of knowing, now I got that full option on the table. Like, okay, it's fully there now. Now I can sit down and really make a decision. And my decision was kind of made off of I don't know. I really don't know. Like I want to do it. I kind of want to do it, but I don't know the facts.
I was just about to ask if your brother did relay that message to you, would you have gone ahead and put your name in the hat for the draft? Like for sure. Like he said, hey, Celtics said 21st pick. What you want to do?
Hindsight, probably so. I mean, just going by situation of how life was and the situation I was in at that time with my dad and dealing with all that. Yeah, I would have went for sure.
Yeah. Let me, Darion, if you don't mind, let me shed some light on it a little
bit. Please do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, what Kelvin didn't know or may know, the Celtics executives, will say at that time, had been to several of his games, his high school games, like physically were showing up to his games. And, there ended up being a conversation. And it was, so at that time, Sonny had the mic. Sonny Vaccaro had the mic with the landscape, with the players and the teams. So Sonny was a great go-through, to communicate to both sides, okay? And Sonny was, he had communicated, hey, listen, Celtics had 3 picks that year. The third pick was 19. That's the same draft. I think they took Joe Johnson. And they're looking, they want a young guy, a guy that they could develop if Kelvin enters, 21st pick.
Right.
So myself, Kelvin's brother, Lamont, so his older brother. His brother was an adult. Kelvin was 17, trying to put him on a flight, not the right thing to do. Kelvin's brother at the time, myself, Arn Tellum, Sonny Vaccaro, we're in Los Angeles. Like, we fly out specifically for the purpose of this meeting. We have this meeting. Everything is discussed. The option with the Celtics is on the table. And I mean, we got one of the most powerful agents in the game at that time, Arn Tellum. And so it was there. It was in place. And Lamont, his brother, was like, and I get it. He looked at his brother. He's like, man, my brother's 17 years old. Like, coming to play with men, is he prepared for the lifestyle of living in a city, being on his own, et cetera, et cetera. And he just didn't see it. And you know what? What's crazy? Let me tell you what's crazy. Sonny Vaccaro even went further, like, well, what if you went with him? And then some things could be laid out. You could be there with him and kind of laid out a plan. And his brother stood tall, and I get it. You know what I mean? A lot of people may hear this podcast like, what? You messed up the bag, whatever. But at the time, he was just being, like, their kid's out of Flint. He was
protecting his brother.
A guy just a few years older than his brother, thinking, what's best for my brother? My brother needs to go get an education, make sure he has some things to fall back on, so on and so forth. And so Kelvin actually never knew. We had a conversation, Kelvin and I, while he was at Michigan State. We're at dinner, and he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, didn't you know your brother went to California? He's like, I had no idea that's why he went to California. So, in hindsight, but, just to shed some light on that story. But, yeah, man, Joe Forte, we love you. 21st pick, but that spot was gone, brother.
Right.
You wasn't their first choice. Joe Forte was not their first choice. And I'm looking at that draft class from 2001. Yeah. There were guys like Kwame Brown, Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, DeJuan Wagner, all guys that we mentioned earlier. They all went pro early, straight out of high school or maybe one and dones.
In fact, that's that same draft class as Gil, too.
That is the same draft class.
Yeah, Gil's in there.
Yeah, Jay
Rich is in there.
Jay Rich.
Forgot about that.
Damn, that's a class, too.
Those guys make that leap, guys that you were cooking.
Just cooking.
What did that do to you mentally, or were you just totally locked in on Michigan State?
It was a bit of process on you. You know, you watching, you thinking like, man, I'm just playing these guys, and now they NBA picks, you know. And I was just sitting with these guys 2 months ago. Now they're on the green room and stuff like that. And it takes a mental process on you, especially you're a 17-year-old kid, man. So you like, that could have been me. That's supposed to be me.
Right.
That could have been my family, you know. But I mean, I think that's the part where I get like the hindsight kind of got blurry, you know. I could have went on with it and just been like, okay, I'm finna put on even more work and just get out of here in 1 year or whatever. But I kind of held on to that, thinking like, man, I should have. And I'm going into Michigan State with a halfway, 1 foot in, 1 foot out already, thinking that I'm not going to be here long and doing things like that. And then you get into college, and college happens, you know. Things happen in college, you know. It's an adjustment period. I mean, no matter how good you are, how great you are coming in, you got to adjust, and you got to deal with different coaching, which is something that I had to deal with. Like, I didn't have that tough coaching like Izzo gave me. It was always, okay, go get it, do this, do that. And like they always knew how to play. But he kind of taught me more fundamentals of reading the pick and roll, knowing that I'm coming off this guy step up, I got to go here, go there with that. And it was one of those processes I had to learn. And then, I mean, even me going through the first 2 years, we butted heads because I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to give me the ball, let me play. Yeah. And I mean, it was something that you had to learn and go through. And still to this day, I don't regret it. Coach Izzo's still one of my greatest coaches, best friends. Look up to the guy. Actually going to their game tomorrow. I'll check him out.
Hey, okay.
So it's like it's no hard feelings with me and Coach. I mean, I think a lot of people think that I got something against Coach Izzo. I don't. And everything I always went through at college, I'd never point a finger at anybody. I always put the hinder on myself. Like I felt like I should have done more. And that's something I always grew up with, like do more. Like even now in today's age, I tell my kid, he lose a game, do more. You do more. Don't point at your teammates, you do more. You have 25, I don't care. Get 28, get 9 rebounds. Do more.
Do more. Wow. That's wow. No, I actually never heard you speak on that, KT. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. That's good to hear. Speaking on MSU, tell us, how do you feel? What was the recruitment process like back then by MSU? Like, what did they do, in that process of getting you to commit?
Man, I tell you, they put on a full court press. They knew that coming in my year, they was losing a lot of guys. So they was losing Charlie. They was losing. They didn't figure Jay Rich early in the season, but they was losing Jay Rich. They was losing David Thomas, Mike Chappelle, Zebo. They lost about 8 players. So it was like, we need guys. So it was like full court press. I know they got Allen was the first to commit. So 2 days later, Allen calling me. Come on, man. You got to come with me, dog. And it was like, that was the recruitment. Like, a lot of kids now, like, we had coaches come through, but it was the guys that already committed that was kind of bringing you along. Like, come on, man, let's do this. Let's go out and do this, man. We can win. We can do this and do that. So, I mean, Allen was my biggest recruiter between him and Coach Izzo. They was one of the guys that recruited me and got me like, okay, let's do it, man.
Wow. Didn't know that. That's Allen Anderson he's speaking on. Yeah, okay. That's what's up. Man, all right. So you talked a little bit about, the first couple of years at Michigan State and bumping heads and you and Coach and, having some success. And obviously, you were a double-digit scorer the whole time, all 4 years. But let's fast forward a little bit. I want to kind of tap in on your senior year. And that was a year that you guys had an incredible run. Obviously, at Michigan State, 10 Final Fours. I think 8 of the Final Four has been with Coach Izzo and 2 national championships. But one specifically that a lot of people don't talk about or don't know about, Michigan State during that 2005 Final Four run. You guys took down in the Sweet 16. Duke was number 3. You took them down. Kentucky was number 7. You took them down in the same weekend. One of the most legendary tournament performances ever. What was it like being a part of that run?
That was one of my funnest years in playing ball ever because it was like we had a team that was full of wing players. Hands down, we probably had the best wings as a whole in the country. We had 5, 6 guys on the wing. So you're throwing me, Maurice Ager, Shannon Brown, Allen Anderson, Chris Hill, Drew Knights were coming in as a freshman. You got Paul Davis. Then you got guys like Matt Trannon, Drew Namath, all these guys that came in and done something at Michigan State beforehand. We knew coming into that season, it was like, we're getting to a Final Four. Now it's just up to can we win it?
Right.
And the thing about that year is we didn't get a lot of fanfare, a lot of banner, because that's the year Illinois was undefeated the whole year until the last game of the year.
Right.
So on a normal year, we finished 14-2 in the Big Ten. You win the Big Ten easy. Any other year. Illinois go that year 27-1 or something. 15-1.
Yeah.
So now again, we on the back burner. We don't get much attention. Well, I mean, I think we lost 5 games that whole year before the tournament. And one of the games was at Duke, where we had them beat, and they ended up coming back, beating us by 2 or 3. And like that year, we had so many great players that our whole freshman class that came in that year had the red shirt because they knew they wasn't going to play. Drew Knights was the only freshman that played that didn't red shirt that year. You had Marquise Gray, Goran Sutan, Ebon, all these guys that came in, they had the red shirt because they knew they wasn't going to play because we were that stacked and that loaded.
Right.
And then, so coming to season, we told Coach was like, I'm going to be honest, I can't play all y'all like that. What we going to do is we finna do something totally different than Coach Izzo's used to. We're finna start full court pressing, man to man, pick your guy up man to man. Everybody play as hard as you can. Because I'm going to tell you now, you're going to play 3 4-minute stretches. You're probably coming out after that. Right. I don't care how hot you are, how good you're playing. We just that deep that I can't tell how I'm not playing this guy. So you go back and look at that year, we had like 6 guys averaging like 24 to 21 minutes. But it made it so easy for us that we could play so hard, do the things we need to do. Like, that year was a great year because outside of what people think, they think Coach Izzo runs a lot of sets and that. You go back that year, we didn't run many sets because our thing was he was like, if you pressure and you get stops, y'all push the ball and do what you can, make a play. So now that's motivating us. We like, oh, we're finna lock down. I can do what I want on offense as long as I play some defense.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'm in his grill. So that opened us up and made everybody play a lot looser and have a lot more fun. And we just got out, man. We just played, man. And the only thing that happened to us, we just ran into a team that was better at running than us, North Carolina. So
North Carolina, yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet them red shirt freshman wish the transfer portal was a thing back then. Man, I would have been hot. I would have been hot. Like, I shouldn't have came here. Just to piggyback off that incredible Final Four run, that win over Duke, that was the first since 1958 for Michigan State. Do you feel like that weekend put Michigan State on the level with other programs like your Dukes, your Kansas, and your Kentuckys?
I think so because going into that weekend, a lot of people had written us off. They figured we couldn't beat Duke. But in our mind, we knew we could beat Duke, and we just had to – I mean, honestly, we just said we get them on a neutral court, it's over for them. Yeah. Like, we lost to them by 2 points in Cameron Indoor. Ain't many teams going into Cameron Indoor and playing Duke down to the wire to 2-point games. And we knew we could do that. And that was early in the season before we really got our legs and figured out how to play as well with each other. So we knew once we got Duke, it was going to be a win. I mean, we had the one factor we need to worry about was Sheldon Williams. That's the only problem we worried about was Sheldon. But in that game, Paul played his butt off, fouled him out, and we knew it was over then.
So, you know, what's crazy about that run, too, especially your senior year. And this is something that I've talked to Chris about and I've read, but a 6-man role, especially as a senior and especially with at least a player that's as decorated as you are, right? And as talented as you are. How did you embrace that role? And then, 2, how did that really affect the team's success if you embraced the role?
Honestly, I didn't embrace it at the beginning. It was
I wouldn't have either. This is bullshit.
No, man.
He being real.
No.
Yeah.
Like me and Coach had about 2-3 meetings on it, and then he came to me and he said, "Look, okay, this is what we're gonna do." He said, "You can take." He said, "I want you to be a 6-man role." He said, "But this is what I want you to do. This is our deal right here. Mm-hmm. Every game at the 17-minute mark, just walk up to the table." He said, "Don't nobody have to say nothing to you. You just walk up to the table and ask me who I'm getting." He said, "Every game we're gonna do that, and that's the deal."
Okay.
He's like, "I don't care who's playing well, who's doing what. You're going in at the 17-minute mark every game. So 17-minute mark before the first TV time, I'll walk up to the table and we'll figure out the subs."
Damn,
then I'm like, okay. And then if you go back and look, I actually started off great beginners. I was leading scorer for the first 3-4 games. Like the first game, I came out at like 22, then I had like 19, and then 15 against Duke. So I'm leading the team in scoring, averaging about 18 coming off the bench. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then, I mean, as a kid, it started getting later on season, I'm trying to sneak up there about 18 and a half, 18.
Right.
He's like, easy, dog. You don't get in there, Jeff. Just settle down. Right. But, I mean, it came a role that I ended up having to embrace.
Right.
Yeah, don't even feel like a 6-man role at that point. He says, "I'm coming in 3 minutes in the game. I ain't gonna be here long."
Right.
Because at that time, starting was what? Shannon, Paul, Maurice, Allen, and who was the other guard starting at that time? Was it Chris?
Chris Hill started at the beginning of the season, and then he had a little minor injury in the middle of the season. Went to Drew Neitzel, and then he kept Drew. So then. Now later on season came, me and Chris go to the table at the same time again.
Right.
Okay.
All right, Kelvin. Let's kind of shift a little bit. Let's talk about the injury you had. You had a foot injury during your college career, unfortunately. Do you feel like that was the main thing that held you back, or were there other things that came into play?
It's part of it. It was actually an injury I did in high school. Like I messed my ankle up in high school, and kind of rested on it, never really got it fully checked out. And like, even if you go back and watch the McDonald's game, I played that McDonald's game. My foot was taped tight, like really taped up, spatted up, like a football guy, because I knew I'm playing these games regardless, foot injury or not. So I was like, I went through the summer, kind of went through it, no pain. Played on it. Like it was painful, but in my mind, I'm like, I can get through this freshman year. I'm going to play through it. I don't want to sit out no games. Like, I don't want to sit out no games. I don't want to do no therapy, no rehab, no surgery, none of that. And come to find out, went that whole freshman year playing on it, not being myself. Coaches are like, you're not who you are. So went through the summer doing rehab and stuff, and actually sprained the ankle again in the summer. And then finally, at the end of the summer, got an MRI and checked it out. And came to find out I had bone spurs in my foot. That was like, they said it was the size of like almost a baseball. So I was playing on like a bone spur like this big in my foot like a whole year and a half, and never knew it. Just thugging it out, toughing it out like I'm going to play.
Right.
Take me up, I'm going, man. I'm not sitting out. And I mean, it hurt me a little bit because in my mental, I'm thinking it's things I can do that I'm not doing. Like, you seeing a play like a ball bouncing above the rim, be like, I tip dunk that usually. Now you go in there, you a step late, you can't get to. Like, what's wrong with me, Right. And it kind of drain on your mental a little bit, and it gets you double taking and rethinking yourself a lot out there.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be hard.
That's rough.
Yeah. No, that's I didn't know how deep that bone spur was. That's crazy. That's huge. Well, so I mean, you did play for one of the most legendary coaches in the game. I have no idea if he's ever retiring. It doesn't look like it. But Tom Izzo, everybody's heard stories about how intense he can be and tough and things of that nature. What was it like playing for him? And second question with that, are there any classic Izzo moments that stand out in your mind that you can go back and think about?
Yeah, like I tell people, playing for Coach Izzo, man, it's two times. It's off-season time and it's season time. So off-season Izzo is the most laid-back, nicest, coolest guy you ever meet. Once that October hit, Coach Izzo, man, is fired up. He's ready to go, man. He's up early, not sleeping, driven. Like, he's driven every freaking day to try to win another national championship like he's never won one before. And to this day, I mean, he's finally lighting up because of age and health reasons, but like he's always been driven to push players to do things, to do more and stuff like that. Like, and it's stuff you don't realize when you're there. And as a 19, 20-year, you're like, man, this guy don't get off my back, man. He own me, but he own you for a reason. Like, the players that he own, he thinks more of you. He thinks you can give him more. He thinks you can do more. He thinks you're special. And I didn't realize that back then. I'm like, why is he on me? Like, why is he always on me? He always felt like I can give him more. And then finally he came to me like, look, KT, I'm going to be honest with you. If you do whatever you do, these guys going to follow you. He said, little do you know, all these guys look up to you. They're going to follow what you do. The more you lead, they're going to follow with you. And that's something that I never really kind of took. Like, I was never really in that. I was kind of a leader on my own, but not that full leadership role. Like, they're going to roll with you. Because I always had guys older than me that did it. So I was just like, just go out and play. So now he put that on me. I'm like, okay, now it's starting to register. Like, this is why he on me. Because he know I can take it, and the next guy Mike can't take it. So even if other guys made mistakes, he was yelling at me. I'm like, okay, cool. Because he knew I could take it. Like, I would be like, all right, coach, you're right. And other guys would break down and go into a shell. So he knew that I could be I don't want to say far as like the whipping boy, but somebody that he can know that he can get on and it wouldn't affect him as much. Instead of other players, we had some guys that couldn't take that. And I mean, to be honest, he played that well because he knew I could take it and it wouldn't really bother me that much. Like, I would just brush it off and be like, all right, let's keep playing and whatever. But he did that. He knew what he is. He knows his guys. He knows his personnel. That's one thing he knows. He knows his kids well. So if he tells you about a kid, he knows that kid. He's studied that kid. He's had meetings with those kids. Like, that's one thing he gonna do. He gonna try to figure you out best he can.
What's the worst you've ever seen? Like the angriest you've ever seen him?
Oh God!
whether that's or like him. What's the angriest you've ever seen him? Like, you was like, oh man.
I can say I give you two times personally with me. It had to be. I think it was one time my junior year we were playing UCLA at home. I think they made a little run on us. When we come to the bench, he yelling at me. We down like 3 points. So finally I stopped back. I said, man, you yelling at me? You ain't called to play that worked all day. So he like, okay. He said, okay, tough guy. That's his exact word. He said, okay, tough guy. Next play's for you. Let's see what you gonna do. So then, we go out. He called a play out for me. I come off that, end up hitting the 3-sided game. I'm like, I told you. Like, we go back and forth. We go to the bench. Next thing he hugged me. That's what I'm talking about. That's the toughness I need. I need somebody challenging me. And then another time was during that Kentucky run, actually, when we played Kentucky in a tournament. It was a vital play right before the half. Like, me and Moeger was supposed to switch. I'm not going to say who messed up the switch, but it wasn't me. So I took the blame for it. The whole halftime of that Kentucky game is me and him arguing back and forth. He's yelling at me, you ain't switched. You messing it up. You trying to blow this game. You don't want to win. I'm like, man, I'm trying to win. I don't want to go back home with y'all. I'm trying to go to fucking So it's about 15 minutes of halftime. We arguing back and forth. We ain't drew up nothing to do in the second half. No strategy, nothing. We not arguing in the back room for 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
Next thing you know, he stopped. He said, all right, bring it up. Let's go.
Like nothing happened.
Me and him arguing back and forth, and we go out and make a run in the second half, man, and get that win. So,
wow.
That was dope.
Damn, hell of a wow.
You the one that called the play. Oh, I wish I could have said that. Oh my gosh. I wish I could say something like that.
I give him credit, man. He's one of those coaches, man. He don't mind you challenging him, but if you challenge him, you better be square on with it, or you better answer that bell, or it's gonna be hell to pay after that.
I like that. So a lot of success, in my opinion, from you on the court, but you also had a lot of success, also in my opinion, off the court too. So the book you wrote, All In, what inspired you to actually share that story? And for anybody that hasn't read it yet, what do you think the message is that you want people to actually take from that?
Honestly, my boy, he inspired me to write it. Eric Woodyard worked for ESPN right now in the Detroit Lions. Like, he was he was a younger kid coming up in Flint. He was about 6 years younger than me.
Okay.
So he always knew about me. He's like, he always say he always looked up to me, but he never knew the full story.
Right.
So the older we got, we became more friends. And then he was like, bro, you got to tell your story. And that's all he used to say to me. You got to tell your story. You got to tell your story. And me, I'm like, I don't know how to tell it. You know, I don't, like, you tell me how to tell it. And then it was like we kind of got an agreement. It took us about 6-7 years, man, to get everything out and kind of share it, because it was harder because he was working with the Utah Jazz for a minute. And then finally, like a year or two before we actually dropped it, he moved back and started working with the Lions. So that's when we pumped out a lot of the book and a lot of the interviews and stuff. And like I said, man, I give him credit because there was a lot of recordings and tapings he had to go through and kind of word and reword and a lot of editing stuff. And I mean, it was more easier for me because I just had to talk. I just had to tell my story, tell me what I did, what I went through, and everything. So it was one of them, like, let's get it out, because even in Flint, a lot of people think they know what went with me, what went on with me, but they don't know. So it was like, let's put it all on the table. Like, let's throw it all out there. Let's stop those questions of, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And those are the questions I got every time I went home. Oh, man, why you go to the league out of high school? Oh, man, why you go to Michigan State? Oh, why didn't you go to UConn with your boy Johnny, and all those questions? So those kind of the put it all out on the table, and let's get settled that. Let's squash all that right now while I'm still here to tell my story. A lot of people don't be around to tell their own story, so we figure let's do it now.
I'll definitely have to add that book to my list.
Yeah, please do.
All In. I mean, you know, and you in that book, you're talking about obstacles and overcoming and things of that nature and the journey, you know, so anybody looking to read it, you know, you'll hear about the journey and overcoming obstacles and accepting, you know, the path that you chose, you know, like you said, and being able to share. So that's great. And also on that, you know, that book is in it's in the Flint school district. So all the schools in Flint have that book. So now young kids coming up, you know, they'll be able to read about, you know, a young man from Flint, Michigan, that accomplished so much, you know, in his, you know, in school, in high school, and reached the pinnacle, if you will, during that time. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, you know, KT, so now just kind of, you know, talking more about your post-basketball success. Now you're working with Matt Ishbia, a former Spartan, a proud Spartan, one that was a walk-on with Michigan State, owner of the Phoenix Suns. You're working with him over at UWM. Tell us about how that opportunity came about and what it's like being part of a company led by another actual Spartan.
It's fun, man. It was one of those processes. It was years in the making. Like when he got the company coming out of college from his dad, he started running it, and he always asked me once I was done playing. He was like, "Man, you need to come up there and work with us." And in my mind, I'm like, "Man, I can't work with mortgages and nothing. Like, I don't know nothing about it." And then finally, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, he was like, "Look, come on, man, we finna." He was like, "This is what he said." He said, "Come on, I'm finna turn this company into the #1 mortgage company in the country." And I'm like, "Man, you ain't finna beat our Rocket." That's what it's my KT, I'm telling you now, jump on this train now. We finna do it. Just knowing the way he competed when we played in Michigan State, and being one of those scrappy guys that never gave up, even though he's smaller in stature, fought for everything he got. Like, he was one of those guys. I'm like, I mean, why wouldn't I want to go to war with somebody like that? I mean, if he want to do this and he feels so greatly about it, I mean, I'm going to back him. That's my teammate, so I'm going to ride with him. And finally made the jump, man, and it's been great ever since, man. I think as soon as I got over there, he ended up actually turning into the #1 lender. I mean, a year after that, he ended up buying the Phoenix Suns, and then like everything's just going well now. And it's like one of those jumps that you never think you would do. It's a lane that you never looked at, never thought about even doing, and it's something that you get into now. You having a lot of fun with it.
I like that. You get out to any Suns games?
Yeah, that's funny. He usually take us all out. I guess a few of us that still work there. Some of his teammates like me, Mateen Cleaves, Adam Wolf, Chris Hill, a bunch of us that work there, and he usually have like one trip, like after the season, after the college season. He bring Coach Izzo all and we all get on his jet, go to a Phoenix Suns game, and stay the night. He put us all up in a hotel, and we just have a good time, man. It's like a whole big reunion. We usually do it in like April, something like that. And I think last year we did it in the playoffs, and it's one of those things, man. He really looks out for those guys that he went to school with, that Michigan State. Like, that's something that he holds a real honor to. It's like there's no falseness to it. Like, he really puts his hat on that Michigan State thing. Like, he loves everybody that came through and went through the battles with him.
That's family now. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's bad. That is family. And speaking of family, it's probably the most important thing to everybody in this interview right now. Your son's hooping too now, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel watching him following your footsteps? Are you the laid back dad, or are you the crazy one at the games? You know, yelling at the refs, yelling at him, yelling at everybody.
No, I'm the laid back dad, man. His mom's the yeller and screamer and all that, man. So I let her handle that, do all that. She does all that. I'm the laid back dad, man. I'm sit behind the bench, man. Give him a few tips when he needs it. Knowing that I've been through that process, it's crazy because he's doing everything, kind of following everything I did 20 years, 25 years before, and it's nuts to me just watching that and just kind of having my own flashbacks and seeing the things he's doing. And it's great to see, man. It's great as a dad just to know that you brought your kid along, and like it wasn't forced on him. Like basketball wasn't forced on him, but he grew up at a time where I was still playing, so he was in the gym. So he learned how to work out on his own, do things on his own. And like now to this day, like even his coaches said, we don't have to tell him to work out. He in the gym more than anybody we know. Like even he had a game this past Saturday. Had a game at 7 o'clock. He go to the gym 12 o'clock. He shooting. You know, with the new phones now, I got his location. It's about 2:30. I'm saying, hey, man, I'm calling. I said, you still shooting? Like, come on, man. You got to at least get you some food and you get some rest, man, before you play. Like, the kid would have sat there and shot for 3-4 hours. Just he in there working on his own stuff. Like, he want to be – and the great thing is he want to be his own player. Like, he don't want to be me, which is – he's a different kid. He's built different. He grew up different. So, but he has his own drive to be his own guy. Like, he wants to be KJ Torbert. He don't want to be Kelvin Torbert's son. He wants to be himself, and he wants to put his own foot in the sand. And that's the only thing I can applaud that. Like, they don't have to follow my footsteps. As long as you're pushing to do what you want to do, and you want to put your own foot in the sand, I'm all for it. Like I said, whatever you want to do, I got his back all the way.
I love that. So I know KJ, obviously, like you just said, wants to be his own player, his own guy, his own man. And we get that. But from you, Pops, is there any similarities you see in this game?
Really not aggressiveness. He's aggressive. He's really aggressive like me. He actually, at this point in his age, he's actually a better defender than me. I mean, not just off ability. He wants to defend. Like, I didn't really want to defend that much in high school. I'm going to be honest. Like, I just wanted to score that ball. So he's really, like, he wants to defend. He picks guys up full court. He's a great defender. He's a little shorter than me, about 6'3", not as strong, but his athleticism is really getting there now. Like, he's really getting above the rim, dunking on people and making plays. And it's like, it's really deja vu to me, man. And it's seeing it because it's funny because if you go back and look at old pictures and pictures of me and him, we have the same face, the same expressions, and it's just different times and different ages, man. He's coming along his own way, and it's a different way, and I love to see it.
Congratulations, then.
Congratulations.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. He actually, so he was with you, Kay, when you were like over in France and playing in Italy and things like that. Oh, that's a beautiful experience that he got to. That's wonderful. Nice. All right, well, shifting gears here a little bit, I'm gonna put you on the spot here, KT. All right. You know, you might get a little bit of you might get a little hate mail off of these next two questions I'm gonna hit you with here. All right. All right. So I need you to rank your top 5 players ever to come out of MSU. That's one. My follow-up question to that: if you could build a 5-man roster of your teammates
Ever.
who would be on that squad?
Woo, man. Let's go with the 5 ever out of Michigan State. I'm going to be honest on this. I'm going to go, it's got to be Magic, Smitty. Them two is the land we looked up to. Mateen.
Right.
Probably Draymond. That's 4. And, man. Woo, man. That 5th is, I'm a little biased, man. I'm going to go home, so I'm going to go Mo Pete.
Okay.
That's my 5th. And far
So now, hey, so Darion, look who would be for. Let's pause you for a bit. He left out Zach Randolph, Jason Richardson.
Wasn't Steve Smith in that joint too?
Well, he said Steve Smith. He said Smitty.
Oh,
that's
second one.
Smith.
Yeah, okay. I didn't misheard that. Okay,
he said Smith.
good. All right, cool.
Okay. All right.
It's a list. That's a list.
Yeah, that's a list, though. Yeah. All right. You go with the follow up. All right. What we got?
What was the other 5? You said my 5 teammates.
So a 5-man roster forever at any point of your teammates that you've played with, a 5-man roster.
Oh, ever.
Build your team.
Ever that I played with. Okay.
Yeah. Ever.
Me, Rob Whaley, Jay Rich, Allen Anderson, Britt Darby.
Ooh.
That's a solid 5.
Ooh, that's tough, though. That 5th is tough,
you leave
man.
it out?
It's really between Brent and Peeper and Rowe. I forgot about
Anthony
Peeper.
Robinson.
I forgot about Peeper.
Ooh. Wow.
You still locked in on that 5?
Well, who the 5 now? We need 5.
I'm
Who's
going
the
with Pete.
5?
I'll put
Kelvin,
Peeper ahead
Torbert.
of Brent. I'm going with Pete.
Okay.
Pete was my
Anthony
baby.
Robinson.
We came up riding together. I'm going with Pete.
Anthony Robinson, yourself, Jason Richardson, Robert Whaley,
Allen
Anderson.
Yep.
Small American.
Squad, man.
That's
What
a
a
squad.
squad.
That's a solid 5. All right. My 2 questions for you. At age 18, both of you are at the age of 18. You and Jay Rich, who's winning that dunk contest? So fresh legs. Both y'all got fresh legs.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going with myself, man. I got to go with myself. I got to go with myself. But that one, woo-hoo-hoo. That's a tough one.
That'd be a heck of a contest. God.
And then it's my second question in this one that Chris is going to like. If NIL was around back then, while you were getting recruited, how much Michigan State, how much of that bag would they had to thrown at you to get you to sign on the dotted line?
Man, with today, it had to be a couple million. For sure. Man, the way they signed it now, 2-3 million probably.
Wait. What was your? You were in the ESPN Top 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were you ranked? Number 1.
1 or 2.
Oh, you gotta ask for more. Oh, you gotta ask for more than.
Nah, he's getting more than that for sure.
Yeah. You gotta ask for more than 2 million.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so home roots, right? So what if MSU says, okay, we'll give you 8, but let's say Duke says we'll give you 10?
Man, much I ain't like Duke, I probably have been at Duke.
Who were your like when it came time to sign? Who were like your last Who are the last bit of schools you were decided with, other than Michigan State? Who are the other ones that you heavily considered?
Michigan State, Cincinnati, and UConn.
UConn. Oh, that's tough.
Okay.
Huggins was at Cincinnati at that time.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, was Huggins there at that time? I think he was, because he was still coaching.
Yeah, he's still coaching.
Kenya Mark.
Yep, they had just left. Yep. It was a year after.
Yeah.
They still had like Kenny Satterfield. Those guys.
Damn.
And who was coaching at UConn at the time?
It was Calhoun. Calhoun. This was Karan Butler last year.
Yeah.
One of my former teammates was there, Johnny Selvey. My freshman class would have been me, Okafor, and Ben Gordon would have been the freshman class.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh man, what a squad! You weren't gonna lose either way going any of those options.
I go back and say, man, I always tell them, I said, if I probably went to UConn, we might have won a national championship my freshman year.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Me being in America coming in to help Karan, we probably would have won.
All right, so playing, that's a high level of playing. So one piece of advice that you'd give the younger generation with dreams of playing on a higher level.
Basically, man, follow your dreams, man. Don't like I tell these kids, it's your decision ultimately. Like, I mean, you love your parents, you love your friends and all that, but the decision comes down to you. You got to live with it. You gotta live and die with it. Like, your parents, your friends ain't gonna be there every day, so you gotta go back to that dorm and be happy with that decision you made. Like, you can't be like, my mom made me go here, my dad made me go here, because once you get there, these college coaches, man, they're going to treat you like a man. You got to be a man. Like, you can't be no coach wants that kid that's want to run back home and call mommy and daddy every time something wrong. They want people that can be adults, that can they can rely on, that they can trust. Like, even the process of these coaches, man, they year to year too. You know, they trying to win too. They not trying to come in and go to NIT or not make the tournament and things like that. So they're trying to win too. So it's competitive on both ends. So you got to know that it's both sides of the story on this process. Like, it's not just, they here for you to come in and do well and push you on the NBA. No, they want to win too. They got to win too. They got this their job too. So they fight for contracts too. So you got to look at it that way also.
Right. Wow. Man, I don't know about you guys, but KT, listen, this right here, this has been legendary, man. We really appreciate you coming on, man. I mean, just your journey from, dominating high school, and winning, national championships, sacrifice at Michigan State, the option of going pro to the NBA. I mean, everything you've accomplished, after basketball, right? You're an author. It's truly, truly amazing, man. So I really want to thank you, man, for this opportunity to sit with you, for sure.
No, seriously. I mean, for me, I always like to end these, with kind of how I felt about it. And obviously, I think from your perspective, I don't know how you felt about this interview, but from mine, I think it was a testament to really, again, hard work, like you talked about before, but perseverance is a big thing. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of times it's something we like to harp on because that's what's going to get you through a lot of things. And I think you are an excellent role model when it comes to that word. And so just representing where you're from, I know Flint should be proud of you if they're not already, but I can guarantee they probably are. So for me, it's an honor to have you, man. Thank you.
Yep. KT, thank you again. It was an honor to meet you. This has been nothing short of amazing. To everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you follow us, subscribe, and share this episode with all Hoop fans in your life, please.
Mm-hmm. Any last words, gentlemen, before we close this out?
No, man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure, man, be able to get on here, have some fun, rekindle some old stories, have some flashbacks, have some fun, man. So it was great. Thank y'all for having me, man, for sure.